welcome
Thank you very much. My dream as a kid was always to become a professional athlete. I grew up in a sports family, so I always wanted to become what my dad was, what my brother were. When I was 15, I left my family to pursue my dream. I left a country, my parents, to go to the US. I didn't speak English. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any money. I went to a private school, white shirt, gray pants, tie, every day. I was the youngest kid in the team, and this was all in New York. For those of you who are from New York, you know that New York is hard. I didn't speak English. I had to do my homework for 3 hours a day. That was hard. I was missing my parents who didn't have cell phones. We didn't have internet. We didn't have FaceTime. No Apple. Very, very difficult. Every night I was crying in my room. But there was no turning back. The ships were burned. That was the way. My dream was to become a professional. At 18, I get a scholarship in the best conference in college basketball, in one of the good teams. When you looked at the ranking, I was number 33. For all the freshmen, all the new players, I was number 33. The list was 33 names. I was on the bottom of that list. So my whole life, I had to always overcome adversity. At the end of my first year, after going to the gym every morning, shooting 800 shots before class, before breakfast, going at night when the only light that you see in the gym was the exit sign. At the end of my first year, I became one of the top 5 players for freshmen, first year in college. I was on every tablet, for every scout, for every team, for every agent that were coming to practice. I was right there. My dream was becoming a reality. I was so close. In the summer, I went to the national team. We won bronze medal with France. When I get back, this is it. All I got to do is just continue to play well. First exhibition game, 15 minutes into the first game, I grab a rebound, nobody's around me. I land, my knee buckles, I fall to the ground. ACL, MCL, LCL, partial PCL, meniscus, cartilage, bone bruise. This close to having a career-ending injury. The doctors were not very optimistic when they looked at what happened. I decided that I was going to do the fastest comeback in history. They said 9 to 12 months. I said I'm going to do it in 5 to 6 months. After 3 months, I'm so far ahead of schedule. I'm where I'm supposed to be at 5 months. One morning, I wake up. My knee is swollen. I can't walk. I go to the doctor to take the fluid out. The next morning, 8:45 a.m., 3 coaches come to the gym and come to the classroom and get me out. Coaches don't come to get you out of class. They come make sure you go to class. Something was not right. They say, you got a meeting with the doctor. I say, when? This afternoon? After class? No, right now. I get there. I see the doctor, and they say, you have surgery in 45 minutes. I have no idea what's going on. I'm a 19-year-old kid. All I'm thinking is I got to get back. 20,000 people in the gym, national television. My dreams right there within reach. I go to the doctor to do surgery. They have to clean up my knee. When I wake up, the only question I have is, Doc, when can I get back to rehab? I need to go back to 2 times rehab a day, 2 times lifting weights a day. I need to get back. I have a schedule. In 6 months, I got to be back on the court. March Madness will be in 6 months. Ilian, before we can talk about basketball, we got to make sure you keep your leg. I felt like the whole world came down on me. Eric talked earlier about gravity. I felt gravity right there. Why me, Doc? Excuse me, Doc, but you're not the one waking up at 6:30 a.m. to shoot 800 shots for a year every single morning. Excuse me, Doc, you didn't leave your parents at 15? You didn't run 1,000 steps every Friday in the arena. Excuse me, Doc, you can't take my dreams away from me. So it was very, very challenging for me because my parents gave all their savings for me to pursue my dream. My dad played basketball till he was 47. Now I'm in this country and I can't do what I'm supposed to do. Sure, I had pressure on myself. Nobody imposed it on me. I get back to rehab, I'm doing IVs 3 times a day with antibiotics, hoping it's going to work and I'm going to save my leg. I get back on the court. I continue to play basketball. The doc said you play until 25. I ended up playing until I was 35 because I told them I would play until I'm 35 years old. They never believed that would happen. I had a very successful career. I won titles. I won MVPs. I got my jersey retired a couple years ago. Nobody can ever play with that number in that team. This was not the NBA, but it was the highest level after the NBA. Very successful career. So when we started network marketing with my wife, she was a TV anchor, produced a 2-hour show every single day. Very influential. I'm very influential. I'm thinking we're going to do 100 presentations in one day. Well, 1 week. And we're going to have 75 high fives after that week. After a full week of her doing presentation in one room, I'm doing in the other room, we circle back up, 2 a.m. in the morning. We're looking at the list. We had a big team of 1. 99 no's, 1 person joined. She didn't even know why she joined, by the way. So that's the problem. That was the problem. We were trying to get somebody to enroll. We were trying to get a new customer. I got to get this one. I got to get that one. When I was playing and when I got injured, I had to make a shift in my head from why me to why not me. And I changed the way I was perceiving things. Instead of I got to do rehab, I get to do rehab. I may not have a leg. I got to go through this adversity. No, I get to get stronger. I get to get mentally tough. So when one person said yes, something was wrong. We had to stop trying to get people. And that's the #1 problem in network marketing. People go out there trying to build their business. They want to get somebody. They want to get an enrollment. And they put so much pressure on that result. The close. How can you close? Well, the problem with the close is people are afraid when they start network marketing to come to the end of the presentation because they know the prospect is about to ask them questions. So how do you manage that? They get scared and they run and then they say it doesn't work. And then they stop inviting and presenting because they know they can't close. So we want to simplify this. We want to simplify it very, very easily. I discovered this multiple years speaking to top leaders all around the world, multiple cultures, multiple languages. The #1 question to simplify closing is, what is it going to take for us to work together? When you finish your presentation, if you ask this question, you're removing all the fake objections. What you're doing, in essence, you're talking about a partnership. You're not talking about a close. You're talking about an opening. Because now they're going to talk to you, and they're going to share. Well, you know what? For us to do business together, I need your support in my market. We need to create a trip for our leaders, an incentive trip. Now, we're talking strategy. We're not talking, I don't have money. I don't have time. And the way you remove these objections is not necessarily to become a pro at these objections. Yes, in time, the top networkers can crush any objection. But what do we do for the 80%ers who don't know how to answer these objections? In the presentation, you must address the objection. You present, and inside you tell a story. And you remove that objection from the end. So when I get to the end of my presentation, when I ask that question, there is no objection. That's only strategy. And now we're talking about building together. We're talking about partnering together. I'm not trying to close a deal, I'm trying to open the market. I'm not trying to close a prospect, I'm trying to open a relationship. Relationships come before business. You want to have a solid team, and you'll talk about this in retention, relationships has to be much stronger than business. The relationships I have with my partners, some of them are relationships for 10 years. Some of them are relationships for 8 years. But the one thing that I do and that I try to help my partners do is that we build relationships, not sales. We have to move the currency. It's not transactional. We got to remove the transaction out of the equation. Because if you bring somebody in the business who is going to come there for the relationship, guess what's going to happen when you have problems? They're not going to run away. They're going to come together as a team, and they're going to fight these problems together. Because I promise you one thing, every company, every leader, every team will have problems. The more you grow, the bigger the problems. The bigger you check, the bigger your problems. If you can't solve the problems, your check lowers. You got to elevate yourself to solve the problems. The one thing that happens when you build relationships is you got to really work on the follow-up. The follow-up is one of the keys to make a successful business. I'm sure most of you, because you are becoming professional and you are professional networkers, you know the stats that most sales don't happen on the first presentation. Matter of fact, they almost never do. I'm very proud of myself. 2 weeks ago, I got on a call with a very, very, very big leader. The call started at 1 a.m. in the morning. The leader stated, just so you know, I'm coming here out of respect. I'm not going to start, I'm not interested. At 3:36 in the morning, the leader said, I'm all in. Nobody expected that for one presentation. That was probably the first time I had a home run like that. And that's not no small leader, person with hundreds of thousands of people. That doesn't happen. That's the one exception that all of us will have once in a while. The majority of the time, we have to follow up. We have to follow up, and the way you follow up is, I have a great script for you. Write that down, because 90% of the time, you're going to have a conversation and a presentation that's going to follow. You have to say, hey, Thomas, it's been a while since we spoke. I need to speak to you, comma, it's important with capital letters, important. When are you available? I didn't ask Thomas about the weather, about his family, about the sports of his kids, his girlfriend. I asked Thomas for a time to speak to me because it's important. The shorter the message, the more likely you're going to follow up with a conversation. You're going to take that message, 90% of the time within 12 to 18 hours, they're going to answer you for a meeting. You're going to take that to a conversation. When you have a conversation with them, you got to bring something positive. Hey, I don't know if you saw, somebody just hit diamond. They've been in a company for 3 months. Hey, I don't know if you saw, we just launched a new service. We just launched a new product. I don't know if you saw, we were 500 people in Dubai. Let me show you the video. It's been insane. You got to bring some value, positive value on that call. When you bring that, they've already heard about your company first, once, twice, 3 times. Then you bring some positivism, and then you take them to a Zoom. When do you have 30 minutes so I can really explain to you what's happening? I can't let you pass by this. Don't ask him, hey, would you have 30 minutes to give me a little time, a little slot? I know you're super busy. No, don't do that. Impose the 30 minutes. Let me give you 2 tips. Call this the booster, because that's going to set the tone and the expectations from the beginning when the prospect starts. Before they pay, when they're enrolling, let's say you're enrolling in my business. We put your name, your email, all the information. We get to the paying. And I say, hold on. Before you pay, could you please make sure you can commit 1 hour of your time a day to the business so that I can help you? If you can't do that, I don't want you to waste your time. In reality, I don't want him to waste my time. right? But I'm going to put the pressure on him because he's going to attach that enrollment, that commitment, that payment to him saying he's got 1 hour a day. We're removing enrolling and just seeing what's going to happen to I'm going to focus on the business and I'm going to give you a shot. I'm going to give you 1 hour a day. What the majority of people like to do when they're not secure with their business is, hey, don't worry. Just all you got to do is just enroll. Just sign up. You don't even have to call people. Just give me the contacts. It's easy. It's so simple. We have a sexy product. We have a sexy service. I'm going to do all the work for you. He's thinking, oh, this is jackpot. I'm going to become your employee. A week from now, you call me, hey, Ilian, I gave you 5 contacts. Why I don't see any commissions? And then I'm going to do this with you. I'm going to do this with you. Now I have 5 bosses, and I'm working for every single one of them. That's not how you do it. You can't, because at some point you're going to be limited by your time. And you're not getting people to be autonomous. So what you do is you make them commit. The second thing, the second boost is what works. I heard this from a training from one of my leaders, so I reframed it. 5 no's a day. Go for 5 no's every single day. Not 5 yeses. The difference is, if you go for a yes when somebody says no, you're crushed. You go with a lower energy to the next meeting. If you go for a no when somebody says no, that's great. I got 4 more no's to take before I don't have to present today. So every no is going to build confidence. Every no is going to get you excited. Simon Sinek said, when we cross something on the checklist, we get a shot of dopamine and we feel good. So when you do a presentation, somebody says no, checklist. Go for 5 no's. When is the last time you've done that in 1 week? 5 no's a week. That's 35 presentations. When is the last time you did that for a full month? Well, let me tell you something. Last year, I came to this event alone. I was skeptical. I didn't think I was going to learn anything. And I sat in that chair in the end, the last chair or the last row with my guy over there in the white. I was there the whole time. This year, we came back here with my partners, with 65 of us. Can you imagine how much time we are buying if 65 of us go back? But keep one thing in mind. When I left that chair last year, I made that decision that we're talking about all day. We went on a 90-day blitz. I didn't expect anyone to go on a 90-day blitz with me. I just told them, don't bother me, don't send me ideas, don't send me support questions. All I need from you is leave me alone for 90 days. You got a support system, whatever you got to do it. Don't bother me. I'm focused, I'm building. I hired a chauffeur for my kids so they can pick him up from school to take him to practice. I got 4 kids. If you duplicate in the business, you got to duplicate at home. I booked a hotel. 4 days I was locked in the hotel doing presentations every single day. But you know what they did? They took my message and they did that to their teams. On the first call for the 90-day blitz, we had 650 people. Every single person in that room that came with me, 2x'd, all the way to 6x'd their teams and their commissions since 1 year ago. Can we please give them a round of applause because they deserve it? So it's very simple. Make that decision. Build relationships, not sales. Sales is great. Having customers is great. But if you have a customer and you have a relationship with the customer, guess what? If he has a quack with the product, it's not going to be a big deal. If you don't know the customer, he's gone. Talk about retention, build relationships. Talk about closing, build relationships. Lead with relationships every single time. My whole business is built on relationships. It's so much more fun when we go out somewhere. There is no cross-line, downline, upline, cross-line, sideline. I don't even know what these words are. We're partners. So, there is too many people out there that need us. So when we leave this event, get cooking, okay? Cooking, start working. Get in the lab. I always say you always miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I had 99 no's in my first week of network marketing out of 100. If you put me on the basketball court, I'll make 99 shots out of 100. Can you see the dilemma here? So to become a professional, you got to give in the time, and you got to get trained. I want to thank Eric for the opportunity, and I want to thank you all for your time.